In the next few minutes, I want to show you something happening around XRP that most investors still aren't paying attention to. And before we get to the end, I'm going to give you a price forecast that will surprise a lot of people, because it goes far beyond the usual short-term predictions. But first, you need to understand why this moment feels different, and why so many signals are now pointing in the same direction. For years XRP has been waiting in the background, held down by regulatory uncertainty, delistings, and institutions stepping aside until the situation cleared up. That long waiting period is now ending, and the changes we are seeing are not driven by hype or speculation but by real infrastructure going live. Banks and payment providers are testing systems that settle value instantly, and Ripple has spent more than a decade preparing for exactly this moment. What makes this shift so important is that global finance is now moving toward digital money and instant settlement. Central banks, large payment networks, and even international financial institutions all want the same thing, and this alignment has never been stronger than it is right now. In this new system, assets capable of bridging currencies quickly and cheaply become essential, not optional. XRP fits directly into that role because new payment corridors are already active in regions where remittances are a lifeline. In places like Asia, Africa, and Latin America, families lose 7 to 10% of their money to fees every time they send funds across borders. With XRP, those transfers settle within seconds for a fraction of a cent, and this is not a theoretical improvement. It is happening right now, and it is already making a measurable difference. While the market is focused on Bitcoin ETFs or Ethereum staking rewards, XRP is becoming part of the underlying plumbing for faster global settlements. And the reason this matters is simple. When real utility meets legal clarity, price tends to react quickly. We saw a glimpse of this behavior in earlier moves, and the environment in 2025 is far more supportive than it has ever been. The turning point came when Ripple secured legal clarity that removed the core uncertainty around XRP's status. This was the moment institutions were waiting for, because they could finally integrate the technology openly without hesitation. Since then, banks and payment providers have been testing and preparing solutions that rely on instant settlement and cross-border interoperability. Here is where the picture expands even further. More than 130 countries are developing or exploring digital currencies issued by their central banks. These new currencies are being built on different systems, different networks, and different technologies. To function globally, they will need a bridge asset that is neutral, fast, and scalable, and XRP is one of the few assets designed for exactly that purpose. Before we continue, this is a good moment for a quick reminder that none of this is financial advice. Always research your own decisions and be aware that crypto markets come with risk, no matter how strong the fundamentals appear. Now let's break down the actual setup. Short term, XRP has been tightening within a narrow range, and each announcement of new corridors or regulatory clarity pushes it toward key levels around 120 to 150. Historically, when these pressures align, XRP tends to move quickly instead of gradually, and that is what many traders are watching right now. Mid-term, as central bank digital currencies begin communicating with one another, systems will rely on bridge assets that can settle instantly and at scale. In that environment, XRP shifts from a speculative asset into genuine financial infrastructure. Once that happens, valuations often reprice sharply because the asset becomes essential to daily settlement flows. Long term, we are heading toward a world where people won't talk about using crypto. They will simply send money, and the systems behind the scenes will route value instantly. When that becomes reality, assets like XRP will rise because of necessity, not excitement, and the market will no longer treat them like short-term bets but like long-term infrastructure. Now that you understand the full context, let's talk about the price outlook that most investors never hear. In the short term, XRP pushing into the $2 to $3 zone is reasonable once utility demand builds and more corridors go live. In the mid-term, as settlement flows expand, levels between $8 and $10 become realistic, especially if institutional usage increases. But the long-term scenario is where everything changes. If XRP becomes a major bridge for central bank digital currencies, if tokenized assets move across XRPL rails, and if global settlement relies on neutral infrastructure, then seeing XRP somewhere between 50 and 100 is not unrealistic. That range is based on liquidity calculations and settlement volume, not hype or wishful thinking. The setup we have been waiting for is finally live. The catalysts are real, the rails are turning on, and the world is shifting toward digital value faster than most people realize. If this helped you understand the moment we are in, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next breakdown.